And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting You're getting nervous, man. Just calm down. It's okay.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, this is genius.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Get your words straight, Jack.
$7 million for reef fish management. $25 billion to combat Asian carp. $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Dumb as a shit fuck, you know, cringe tour, etc., etc.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree. I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce. Oh, seriously, hot sauce. Seriously, hot sauce.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation of I'm Gonna Scream Directly into the Mic and Blow Out Your Motherfucking Eardrums, aka the Above It All live show, live streamed experience, episode 1539. Hello, users. We are here once again. I am on my second cup of coffee. I am about to die. I am in like this bizarre bizarre caffeine addicted state where I need to go on like some sort of tolerance break of some kind, so just bear the fuck with me. I'm trying to survive. One thing I should say though, one thing that needs to be said before the stream starts, I guess it already started, is that today is in fact the weekend. So it's the weekend. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. It's the weekend day. Today it's Saturday. And on that note, I should say that another announcement that I should make is that tomorrow is also the weekend. I don't know what to tell you. It's the goddamn 2 weekends in a row. Can you really believe that shit? So today's the weekend. Tomorrow's the weekend. We got 2 of them back to motherfucking back. And so there you go. I appreciate the compliments on the t-shirt. If you would like this, you can go to Letterhack's Twitter page. Letterhack is, I think, still selling these on twitter.com. If you want to DM me a link right now, Letterhack, go fucking DM me a link right now to the store page, and I'll post it. I'll post it in the chat. So if you want to buy these, all the proceeds go to charity. There you go. So, just throwing that out there. I got a cup of coffee that I'm working on. Doing my best. You know that like weird feeling where you have like liquid and moisture on your upper lip after you sip something? What's going on with that shit? Anyway, so we got a program. I'm doing a program today. My program, or I'm like really fucked up. Like I slept like 7 hours. I've been attempting to do like writing out the lucid dream show idea, and my dreams have been really fucking wild lately. So I'm getting into that mindset where like my subconscious is eating me alive, and so you know, just bearing with me. So anyway, and I'm also like, I'm drinking like 70,409.6 cups of coffee every day, and needless to say, I'm getting fucked, and not in the good dick way. So this is a dream. Wake up. Sometimes I dream about doing a show. Just for the note, Letterhack has yet to DM me the link. They do not actually care about charity. Letterhack is a fraud. But what else is new? This is a news show, so we gotta talk about news here. Let's talk about Sunday being the first day of the week. Let's open the show with a good old-fashioned rant. Okay? There are some dumb fuck motherfuckers out there. Dumb fuck motherfuckers. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck? That's what you might be wondering. Like, what is this person talking about? There's some dumb fuck motherfuckers out there that think that Sunday is the 7th day of the week. Okay, so they actually think this. Like, they live their lives and like on the calendar, like they'll have like their modified calendar application that like they specially designed to go against reality, where like Monday is the first day of the week. And so my question is like, okay, I'm okay with the idea of changing the calendar. Okay. I'm into it. I'm into it. So I want to show you this. If I were to change the calendar, this is the calendar I would use. I would use the International Fixed Calendar. Okay. The International Fixed Calendar, also known as that, blah, 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 is a proposed calendar reform designed, blah, 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 first presented in 1902. The solar calendar divides the year into 13 months of 28 days each. Adds a new month called Sol. And every month is 28 days. You don't have these fucking stupid days. Oh, 30 days past it. Okay, fuck that shit. Now, if we're going to change the calendar, I'm going to use the International Fixed Calendar. There's also what it does is it adds a leap day. Which is just like, it's not a day of the week. It's just an extra day. So this is a cool fucking idea. So if we're going to change the calendar, this is what I'm talking about. I'm a big fan of the International Fixed Calendar, okay? And in fact, I'm going to post this in the chat. Bookmark this. Read this for yourself later on. But we have some stupid motherfuckers out there that just like change the calendar slightly and so that Monday is the first day of the week. And my question is like, why would you do that? Well, people love to say, it's the work week. It's the work week. Work week? You base your life around what a corporation tells you when you need to go to work? Like, again, that's some really fucked up shit. Like, imagine having such a little regard for your own self-determination that you make a corporation decide what calendar is the best one that you use for your daily life. That's fucking stupid, okay? Oh, but I'll start the week on Monday and I gotta get into the office and gotta do some work and I gotta work. Go fuck yourself, motherfucker. Now, if we want to change the calendars, again, International Fixed Calendar, hit this fucking shit up. That said, this idea that Monday is the first day of the week, it's just ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. The only reason why you have Monday as the first day of the week is if you're a corporate ghoul. You don't have any actual thoughts. You're a slave. You're a drone. You're a sheep. And honestly, you're a piece of shit. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Okay? We got to be honest with this. This is a real phenomenon that exists. And then so, my opinion is the terminology the weekend. Where does the weekend even come from? It comes from labor movements. There was no weekend 200 fucking years ago. There was no goddamn weekend. Okay? 200 fucking goddamn years ago. You think fucking peasants in the farms and the fucking factories 200 years ago, you think they were fucking, oh, can't wait, I'm ready for the weekend. What? Dumb motherfuckers. Dumb motherfuckers, okay? So the weekend is a new invention. Like, the weekend, right, they made it could have been Monday and Tuesday. It could have been the weekend. It could have been Wednesday and Thursday. It could have been the weekend. Would you have reformatted your weekdays on the calendar or whatever if that's the case? Anyway, also, most people that work nowadays don't even have a weekend. Like, let's be honest. Like, when's the last time you've been off every Saturday and Sunday in a row forever? Let's be real. I don't have a weekend. I'm doing a show right now. So, there is no weekend. It's made up. But the reason why I like to do the weekend thing is, one, because it's fun. And two, I mean, it's just fun. But I don't believe in weekends. I don't believe in this idea that the weekend defines the week. I also don't, like, Saturday and Sunday, the only reason that these are the weekends are because of religious fucking bullshit. Religious fucking bullshit. That's the only reason why it's Saturday and Sunday. Why isn't it fucking Wednesday and Tuesday? Oh, it's because of religious fucking stupid ass bitches. That's why. So anyway, I'm anti Mondays the first week. If you want to fuck around with the calendar, I'm right there with you. Let's do the International Fixed Calendar. right? Like, let's make it so that it's you know, it's Soul something. Yeah, it's Soul 1 right now, as of this moment. But again, this idea, oh, I'm gonna be edgy and change my calendar to match what my corporation and work wants me to do. If you're gonna change the calendar, make Wednesday the first day of the week. That sounds fucking fun. If you're gonna change the calendar, do something wacky. Make Thursday the first day of the week. I don't know, man. But anyway, I just wanted to rant and rave a little bit about these calendar fuckers. Monday is not the first day of the week, okay? And if you're gonna do this stupid bullshit where you're gonna change the calendar, at least go all the way. Like, this is like Barack Obama saying, oh, we're gonna get universal health care and a public option, and then just going forward with Mitt Romney's health care plan. Like, what? Like, you know, this is like, you're compromising with yourself, you're not going far enough, and you just end up looking like a goon, you end up looking like a moron, and you base all of your bullshit off of what corporations tell you to do. Fuck corporations, fuck Monday is the first day of the week, and fuck you, motherfucker. And also, shout outs to the International Fixed Calendar. Look it up, it's cool. Anyway, now that I've successfully killed 17 minutes, how's everyone doing? This is the random noises portion of the program. We got the random noises portion. Can we talk real quick? In fact, I'm going to do another, this is going to be another rant and rave session. What the fuck are with these stores that shut down on Sunday? You're telling me? And then there's like some laws in some states. I don't know which states, but I've encountered some states where you can't buy alcohol on Sunday. You ever hear this fucking shit? Let me look this up. What is this fucking called? Blue law? What the fuck? Like, okay, so you're telling me it's Sunday morning and I am a supposed free American? People tell me that slavery does not exist in this country, right? They tell me I'm free, and yet I can't buy vodka or whiskey at 8:30 a.m. on a Sunday? What the fuck? What the fuck? Like, again, this God bullshit. You know what I hate? You know what I hate? God. God is fucking dumb. Fuck you. Fuck your God. Let me get some fucking rum on goddamn Sunday, motherfucker. And then also we have these, like, you know, Chick-fil-A is closed on Sunday. Then they make a big deal. We're closed on Sunday. We worship the God. First of all, you shouldn't be going to Chick-fil-A anyway. If you do, you have a low IQ. Second of all, like, as a free fucking motherfucking American, first of all, I don't believe in God, so I have to live by your stupid fucking God rules. I want to get fucking shit-faced drunk at 9:12 a.m. on a Sunday? What if I'm nocturnal? Right? Like, what if 9:12 a.m. is like your 9:12 p.m.? Like, I'm about to get ready for bed, but I want to go out, you know, and have a good time before I pass out in a dumpster somewhere? You're telling me, like, what, like, nocturnal lives don't matter in this country? This so-called free country? This so-called fucking free country? You're telling me I can't go to a bar at 9:12 a.m. on a Sunday and get shit-faced and then go home and fall asleep? In this so-called land of the free, home of the brave, America, the U.S. of goddamn motherfucking A. What the fuck is that shit, man? And this goes to, like, why aren't bars open? Like, but you ever, like, go, like, oh, this bar opens at 5 o'clock p.m.? In a free country? I'm gonna buy a bar, and this bar is gonna be, it's gonna be the reverse bar. It closes at 5 p.m. Sorry, bitch. We close at 5 p.m. This is a bar for nocturnal people. People that sleep during the day and wake up and roam the streets at night. That's the kind of bar I want to operate. People that are waking up at fucking, I don't know, 10 o'clock or something, p.m., and they want to fucking, they go to work, and then they come home, and it's 7 a.m., and they want to get a fucking drink. What the hell's going on in this country? So-called land of the free. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Anyway, I want to talk about God for a little bit. On the God thing. Hold on, let me find this bowl. Let me find this fucking bowl. So if anyone's a God person, prepare to be triggered. Just put your seatbelt on. So I want to start this segment by saying that there's only one group of people in this world that believe in God.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
If you believe in God, you're a moron, you're an idiot, you're a dumb motherfucker, okay? And America seems to be going in the right direction on this one. So this Axios poll, or I guess it's an Axios article on a Gallup poll, made the rounds on social media. I enjoyed reading this. I don't know, like, I'm going to post a poll in my chat room. I'm sure people are going to troll me. But, like, how many people in my audience right now believe in God? I hope it's 100% atheist. But, like, I don't know. Like, do you believe in God? Like, I don't know. Anyway, if you believe in God, you're a fucking idiot, okay? It's that simple. You're a fucking uncivilized savage. You're no different than the motherfucking Mayans who would sacrifice virgins at the top of the fucking pyramid. You're a psychopath. You're a loser. You're a moron. And honestly, again, you are not free. You are not free if you believe in God. Okay? Especially if you're a Christian or something stupid like fucking that, or if you're fucking Jewish or Muslim or whatever. If that's the kind of God you believe in, you're extra not free. You know, these God people, you know, these fucking God people, man, I'm so sick of this shit. Anyway, let me read this article real quick. Let me show you the big thing. Number of Americans who believe in God has dropped to the lowest level in 78 years. Gallup has asked the question. Per a poll out Friday, 81% of U.S. adults say they believe in God. That's down. 81% is the lowest in U.S. history. 81%. You're telling me 4 in 5 Americans have, like, undiagnosed schizophrenia? Like, are you, like... We live in a shithole world. Now, again, this God thing. Now, a lot of people say that shitting on God is old. Like, you know, it's old. No one likes it anymore. People call me cringy when I do it. But motherfucker, go fuck yourself, man. I've been hating God since I was a 12-year-old. I was praying for God. Praying to God, please make my mom stop abusing me. And then guess what happened? Nothing! God didn't hear me. God didn't answer me. And I was still getting fucking beaten by my mom every day. So that's when I stopped believing in God. But anyway, that's my personal saying. But again, who told you to believe in God? Like, that's the thing that we really need to talk about here. Who told you to believe in God? Kings and slave owners. That's who told you to believe in God. If you believe in God in the United States of America, you either got that belief from a slave owner or a king. That's it. I thought we fought a revolutionary war in this country to overthrow a king, and yet we have 81% of dumb fuck motherfuckers still going like, yeah, King James, he's a really good guy. He's really smart. Really good translation. Like, we fought a war to overthrow a king, and y'all are just like, oh, okay. Yeah, the king was right on this God thing. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, this God thing. And again, let's talk about the slave owners. You know what they would do when they conquered nations, right? When these fucking stupid white people took over Americas, what they did was they enslaved indigenous populations here and in other countries and then shipped them over, right? And what they would do is force them at gunpoint to learn about their stupid fucking God, right? You look at these residential schools, right, that are popping up all over the place. People are reckoning with the history of residential schools in Canada and the United States, right? Thousands of dead children, native, indigenous dead children buried in mass graves. And why? Why were these kids murdered? Because they didn't believe in God hard enough? That's why? So whenever I see these fucking, like, you know, like, again, if you're a white person, you're an idiot. You believe in kings and queens, you're a fucking moron. But if you're not a white person and you're still believing in the white man's God, that's fucking stupid. But you know what? I'm going to be, honestly, again, it's another one. Let's keep going. Like, this idea, everyone wants to have their own version of God. Let's be honest. If you're allowed to just make up your own God, again, this white Jesus bullshit. Jesus isn't white. Motherfucker was like very, very, very tan at the best case scenario, right? This, like, you just made it up. They just made up their own version of God. And then you've got people that do this black Jesus thing. Like, if God and Jesus are able to be whatever you want them to be, then maybe it's not fucking real. I don't know, man. But a lot of people say, oh, I don't agree with Christianity. I've got my own personal relationship with God. Motherfucker, that's called your internal monologue. That's your brain. That's your brain. That's you. That's called consciousness, motherfucker. God's not talking to you in your fucking head. That's you. That's your body. That's your fucking brain. God, I don't believe in Christianity, but I believe in my new I got my own God. That's called you. That's called your brain. Like, I don't know, man. Like, this fucking shit. This fucking shit, man. 81% of Americans believe in God. And you wonder why this fucking country is fucked up? You wonder why this fucking country is off the rails. Because 81% of Americans believe in literal fairy tales. They believe that there's an invisible man in the sky. There's another poll that I covered a while ago that was like 65% of Americans believe in angels. So there's like a 15% delta. Yeah, I believe in God, but the angels are a little far-fetched. God, definitely real. The flying angels that are watching over me and every time I come, they're like disappointed slightly. That's a little bit too much. Honestly, you know, you got to be crazy to believe in angels. The invisible man who flooded the earth 15,000 times and I worship him anyway. That's great. That's awesome. Woohoo! But the angels, like what the fuck? Okay, so again, Americans are fucking stupid. Again, this is the same way that you have like 13% approval rating of Congress, but like what most Americans want in polls is bipartisanship. Like they believe in fairy tales, right? Like these motherfuckers. Oh yes, if we have bipartisan legislation, it must be good, right? Like again, Americans believe in fucking fairy tales. They're fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. They're dumb. 81%. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. Jesus fucking goddamn Christ. Anastasia. Andrea, some people do have a faith or spirituality that connects them to strength. Outside of Christian fascists and theocrats, why is that a problem? There have been writing and tradition. I have no problem with faith or spirituality in things that make sense. Like I consider myself very spiritually connected to the universe and to nature. That doesn't mean I believe in God. Like believing in God is fucking stupid. Like I'm sorry, like I don't care what like excuse you come up with. I don't care if you're like, oh, I'm a good God believer. I just think it's fucking stupid. Like there's a difference between believing in God and like believing that we are all part of the universe and we're all one with nature and the world. That's fine. I love that shit. I love meditating, doing drugs, and then thinking about like fucking, you know, just how my DNA functions and how it's like, you know, we're all like bio whatever. That's all well and good. When you create, that's why I respect Scientology more than I respect any of these other fucking religions. At least they're coming up with some new material. At least they got something going on. They're trying to, like, you know, yeah, our God, yeah, he's like a robot alien super god or something. Like, they're coming up with new ideas. Again, like, anyone who's a Christian, I'm sorry, I don't care if you're a so-called good Christian. I don't care, you're fucking stupid. Because the only reason you're a Christian is because you can't question authority, and a king or a slave owner told you at gunpoint, or one of your ancestors at gunpoint, believe in this God or we kill you. And the gun's not there anymore, and yet you still believe in God. Now again, what is the problem? The problem is belief in God is like, it's a precursor for the idea that you can believe in magical fairy tales. Again, you don't question authority, you don't question the world you live in, you do what you're told like a good little drone. That's why believing in God is stupid. Because it's drone shit. It's sheep. Again, you're a zombie. You have no original thought. That's the thing. Not only do you have original thought, right? But these people, they think their original thought is God talking to them as a way to suppress their own consciousness, as a way to suppress their original thought. They don't want to have original thoughts. They want to go with the flow. They want to be marching in lockstep with the rest of the slaves. Again, this fucking shit, I don't know, man. I get pissed the fuck off at this God shit. I do. I really do. And again, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe. But every experience I've ever had with a God person has been weird, and it's just been awkward and uncomfortable. Like, even if they're I have a lot of friends that believe in God, and I just choose not to talk about it with them, because what's the fucking point? And they're great people. But every once in a while, they'll like go off on this weird and God's looking out for me thing, and it's like, right? Like, I just like, what do I do? Right? Like, yeah, God's looking out for you? Really? Really? Can you look out for me too? Right? Like every once in a while, right? Like, you like, I'm in this conversation with someone who, like, I consider a friend, you know, and you know, most of my friends know I'm an atheist because I talk about it all the time, but I try not to get in arguments about it. But, like, again, this is my show, so I say my own things. But it's like it's magical thinking. It's believing in hope, but without attaching hope to anything useful. Like, if I want to have faith, I want to have faith in something that's actually going to bring about something positive. Like, for example, I had faith that Bernie Sanders would win in 2020. I tried to help him win the presidential primary. I had faith that he would do so. And guess what? That faith in that led to a much better organizational apparatus than any fucking Christian church. Like, something that you can actually, like, you know, work toward a goal. That's what faith is for. Faith is believing in yourself and other people around you to attain a goal that would help us all. That's what faith should be. But this God faith is like, I believe in an invisible man. At the threat of hell, by the way, because if I don't believe in him, I go to hell. Because this world that we live in is not hell, right? Okay. And so I'm going to give this money to a church. I'm going to give these people power. And what do these churches do? They oppress people. They oppress people. That's what they do. They take your money. They take the power you give them by going into their institution all the time. And they weaponize it against you behind your back. That's what they do. Every single fucking one of them. Because guess what? They're tax exempt. By definition, when you give money to a church, definitionally speaking, they are using it against you because they're not paying taxes. If you buy a hot dog, and again, I don't endorse buying hot dogs, I'm a vegetarian, but if you buy a hot dog, at least there's sales tax. At least the hot dog stand owner has to pay some money to the government, and that money will go back to help you in some way. When you give money to your church, you're flushing it down the toilet. You might as well light that fucking shit on fire. I just can't believe this fucking God stuff. Again, it's to me, it's a sign of being uncivilized. That is what I think. In the same way, and I don't mean uncivilized necessarily to be a bad thing, because there are many people throughout human history that are uncivilized. I consider most of people today uncivilized. I consider people that eat meat uncivilized, personally, right? Like, you're a savage. You haven't evolved with the rest of society. You haven't evolved with science. You haven't evolved it with society. You are remaining in some long forgotten age, right? And again, my problem as well, like with Christian fascists, yes, they are the problem. They are one of the biggest issues in the world. But when you give any cover to Christianity, you're giving cover to Christian fascists. It's the idea like there's a good Republican. Like the idea that the Republican Party can be good, or there can be a good Republican, that in and of itself gives cover to the bad Republicans that want to fucking fuck our countries up. So when you pretend that like, oh, these religious institutions, they're good, it's just that some of them are bad, what you're doing is you're legitimizing the entire institution, and that institution's natural, again, God in the Bible is a fascist ideology by default. By default, it's worship the leader, do everything the leader says, or you go to hell and kill everyone else that disagrees. That's what all these religions say. So when you stupid motherfuckers go out there and go like, oh, my God, I cut that part out. Well, then you're not a Christian. If you don't read the Bible, if you read the Bible and say, oh, these parts, little outdated, I don't believe in that, then why do you believe in any other part of the book? You're not a Christian, right? But instead of just saying, oh, I have my own personal relationship with my own version of God, that's fine. That's one thing, right? But they still call themselves Christians. Why? Like, why are there like 38,000 different branches of the Christian church? You have Catholicism, Baptism, fucking, what's the other ones? Protestantism? I don't know what the fuck. Like, what? Only one of these is allowed to be correct. And then when you look at like Judaism versus Christianity versus Islam, only one of these is allowed to be correct. And then when you look at all of human history, what is the number one way that you can convince people to kill one another? God. Oh, this guy believes in the wrong God? Kill him. Oh, this guy believes in the same God, but only believes in 9 of the 10 commandments. They like shellfish. They love shellfish. What can you do? You know, it's like those motherfuckers. Man, I just love chicken nuggets. I just love them. How is that possible? Like, you know, that's the thing with this God bullshit. People are, oh, 10 commandments, 10 commandments. Motherfucker, let me see the tag on the t-shirt you're wearing right now. 10 commandments, my fucking asshole. I just hate this God shit because it legitimizes a way of thinking that is only detrimental. Anyone that legitimizes any religion in that kind of way, especially an organized religion, you're opening the door to magical thinking, and magical thinking is what gets us all killed. Magical thinking, like, if we just hope the pandemic ends and do nothing about it, it'll all go away. That's magical thinking. You have faith in magic. It's made up. It's bullshit, right? In order to make the pandemic go away, you need to stay home. You need to wear a mask. You need to get vaccinated. That's how you make the pandemic go away. You can't just hope for the best. That doesn't work. That's like, oh, I'm going to drive through this traffic light and just hope I don't get hit. That's not how the world works, right? And so again, I have no patience for God people. I really don't. And maybe that's my upbringing. Maybe that's because I've been burned by God people so many times. Maybe that's because I'm a filthy fucking queer. I don't know. But like, Jesus Christ, man, 81% of US adults, 4 out of 5 Americans believe in Santa Claus? That's insane. That's insane. That's fucking insane. These people are insane. They're all fucking stupid. And again, you wonder why our country is off the rails. It's because people are allowed and enabled to believe in fairy tales and magical bullshit. Shit that they just made up. They just made it the fuck up. And again, the only reason why you believe in God is either 1, because of a slave owner forcing your ancestor, or 2, because a king told you to. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason. There is no other reason why you would be a Christian. There is no other reason why you would be any form of religion, unless, especially an organized religion. If you make up your own thing, that's fine. I have respect for people that purely make up their own stuff. They don't just like take Christianity and go like, oh, I'm gonna wear mixed fabric, so I'll cut that part out. Oh, I'm gonna fuck the neighbor's wife, I'm gonna cut that part out. Like, that is not, come up with your own shit. Like, that's why I respect Scientology. At least they come up with something new. Mormonism, you know, okay, at least they're having a third book. It's DLC, right? Like, you know, something. I respect Mormons more than I respect any other form of Christian, right? At least they're coming up with something new. Now, again, they're basing it all on the old shit. It's fucking stupid. But at least that, you know, their minds are working out. That's why I don't mind, like, these, like, weird UFO cults. I don't mind, like, ancient aliens conspiracy people. Because at least they're thinking. At least they're using some form of the scientific process. Right? And they're just like, oh, well, these things are unsolved mysteries, so let's attach some sort of religious angle to it. Okay, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? But these motherfucking, like, Christian people, the only reason you'd be a Christian is because of a slave owner or a king. That's it. And that makes you a fucking drone. That makes it so you're not free. If you believe in a Christian God, you are not free. You are not a thinking person. You are not a critical person. You are a drone marching in lockstep with what a slave owner or a king wanted you to do. That's it. That's it. Anyway, 62% of liberals, 68% of young adults, and 72% of Democrats say believe in God. 62% of liberals and 68% of young adults. That's still crazy. 7 out of 10 young adults, people my age, are like, yeah, I believe in God. Like, this is my thing. Again, question everything. Question everything. Ask yourself why you do everything. Take a day. Don't, like, take a day off. Do a day, one of these days. Maybe do it today or tomorrow, where you wake up, right? You write something down, remind yourself, wake up, and just do your normal routine. Don't change anything. But every time you do something, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Right? When you wake up and you make your coffee, ask yourself, why am I drinking coffee? Well, I want caffeine so that I can be more productive at work. Right? When you get in your car or whatever the fuck mode of transport you use for the day, ask yourself, why? Why are you using a car? Are there better alternatives? Like, maybe I could get something that works. You know, ask yourself why. When you fucking think about God, ask yourself, why do you believe in God? Ask yourself why. When you make yourself food, when you buy your food, when you go to the grocery store and you're getting your normal routine, what you normally get all the time, every time you add something to your cart, ask yourself why. Why am I adding this beef product to my cart? Is it because I want to kill myself? Is it because I'm a drug addict? Because those are the only answers that you can come up with. Ask yourself why you do everything. You need to be present. You need to be aware. I believe personally that most people in this country are zombies. I do. I really do. But I believe any zombie in this country can actually wake up and not be a zombie. I think people can arrive at higher levels of conscious thought simply by just, again, asking themselves why they believe the things that they do. What are the core tenets of your identity? Because if religion is a core tenet of your identity, you have no identity. You are not a real person. It's just that simple. It's just that fucking simple. If a core tenet of your identity is what some king or slave owner forced your ancestors at gunpoint to believe, then Jesus fucking Christ. Even in your own head, you are a slave. Even in your own head, you are not free. When you go to bed, whenever you go to bed, whatever your bedtime is, whatever, ask yourself, why am I going to bed at this time? Ask yourself, when you watch television and you scroll through the whatever, ask yourself why ask yourself why you're watching the show. You should have a reason for everything that you do. Because if you don't, you're on autopilot. You're like motherfucking Adam Sandler and Click, just scrolling forward, fast forwarding through their whole fucking life. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't care. That's my opinion. Ask yourself why you do everything. When you buy food, when you make food, whatever you're doing, when you call up your friend, when you watch a YouTube video. And think about this with social media algorithms. Social media algorithms are a new form of God and a new form of control. When you watch a video on YouTube, ask yourself why. If it pops up in the recommended feed and you've never heard of this thing before, right? Ask yourself, why would you click on that? When you go on Twitter.com and you're starting to fight with random people online, ask yourself why. Why am I fighting with this person? What am I hoping to do? When you go into a Discord server and yell at one another over and over again over stupid fucking garbage, ask yourself, why am I yelling at people over and over stupid fucking garbage? Is it that do you want to change their mind? Do you believe that that's going to happen? Do you want to argue with them so that you train your own argument skills, like your debate skills, right? Are you testing yourself when you argue with someone online? Is it entertainment? Are you killing time? Why do you do everything you do? That's the main thing that I want to ask people. Because people that believe in God, they never ask themselves these questions. Or if they do, they'll wrap it around this stupid God bullshit. Again, the only reason you believe in God is because a slave owner or a king told you to. And let's be honest, what are kings? Slave owners, right? That's just on a master scale, right? So, I don't know, man. Yeah, I resent God, and I resent anyone that believes in God. I'm sorry. If that offends you, ask yourself, why does it offend you? If you're so sure that God is real and I'm going to hell, it shouldn't offend you. But also, ask yourself why you think I would go to hell. Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself, why do you believe in hell? Ask yourself, why do you believe in God? Who told you these things? Why do you speak English? I speak English. Why? Because a fucking king took over a whole fucking country, right? And then those stupid motherfuckers revolted against that king, kept the language, right? And then started controlling the world, and then had a fucking advancement in industry, and then that caused mass immigration from Europe, which is where my ancestors came from, into this country, because they wanted to catch a break, because Europe was still a lot more fucked up at the time. So that's why I speak English. Would I prefer to speak another language? A language with more options? A language with better words? Better grammar? Better vocabulary? Absolutely. And maybe one day I'll learn another language. But ask yourself why for everything. So anyway, I don't believe in God. I think anyone that believes in God is stupid. And I genuinely, I mean that with all due respect. Because when I say someone is stupid, that doesn't mean I'm writing them off, like just throwing them in the garbage can, hit the delete button, they're over, blocked forever. If someone is stupid, it's temporary insanity. They can always be less stupid. You can always read a book and gain new insight. You can always learn more about your world, your situation, and everything around you. I do every day. Every day I try to learn something new. Every day I like to ask myself why I do certain things, and what that leads me to do is to optimize my behavior. So, don't fall into autopilot. Don't fall into this God bullshit. 81% of US adults still believe in this fucking garbage. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Holy goddamn motherfucking shit. What good does arguing about things like meat does? Well, the good is I don't want you to kill yourself, Donald James. I have a vested interest in everyone that watches me. I want them to not only continue watching me, but I want them to continue watching me for as long as possible. And when you are a drug addict and you're addicted to like anthrax, or you're addicted to, like those weird shows like My Strange Addiction or whatever the fuck, like you're addicted to eating staples or something, right? That is harmful to me in the sense, not only because I want you to watch my show for as long as possible, you know what I mean? But like also, I care about other people. I personally, my opinion on consciousness and the human experience, I am so fascinated and enthralled and like a huge fan of the human experience. I love being alive. I love having this human brain. I love being able to consciously perceive the world around me. I think it's great. I think one of the most entertaining things in the world is to just understand as much as possible about how the world works and then just watch the freak show. Open your fucking curtains and just look at the world around you. Like, why do we have cars? Why do we have roads? Why do we have suburbs? What the fuck is of stupid motherfuckers that believed in God? So my interest in having people think like I do is one, because I think I'm correct. Now, I know everyone thinks they're correct, but it's the plague of being us. But also, I want what's best for people. Like the idea of someone being a slave to God for their entire life. Like the idea that someone on their deathbed is like, oh God, please stop me from dying of cancer. And then you just die of cancer anyway. What? Like God didn't help. Sorry. So that's what my interest is. I want people to live long, healthy lives. Because you know what that does? It advances my message. My message is I want people to live long, healthy lives, and I want people to be smart, intelligent, skeptical. I want people to question authority. I don't want people to fall into these fucking bizarre traps where they get stuck for their whole life. They wake up in retirement and they don't know what the fuck to do. You know these old ass motherfuckers? These old ass motherfuckers? Right? Like they work and that's the only thing that they do. Oh, my work is my life. And then they retire. And then they get bored. And then they just start working again. Because they never developed hobbies and they don't know what to do with their life. So they start working again. After retiring. You know these, have you heard about this? This is an actual thing that exists. You understand with dementia, a lot of people get dementia because, now again, this is, you know, this is a little, we're getting into pseudoscience territory here, right? So I just want to be very clear. This is just based on my reading of books, my reading of scientific studies. But my understanding is that dementia happens more often, now again, genetic predisposition changes, it's like, if you have a deck of 52 cards, right, but it's not, it's not like a standard deck, right? Like, let's say you've got like 30 kings in the deck as an example, right? That's your genes, right? So if you pick a random card, you have a more likely hand of picking a king versus if your deck only has 20 kings, whatever. And so that's a factor. But I think one of the best ways you can combat dementia later in life is by reading every day, by reading the news, by staying active, by doing new things. Like a lot of people, they will fall into routines, right? You will fall into a routine. You'll do the same thing every day. You'll wake up and you're 80 and you don't know where the fuck you are. Because how do you tell which day is which day? If you're doing the same shit in 1963 that you're doing in 1995, and you're waking up and you live in the same house, you go get your coffee, you go to get to the fucking store, you go buy your fucking stupid bitch garbage, you go to work, you come home. When you do the same thing every day, you're not using your fucking brain. This is why, in my opinion, I like to make every day a blank slate. I like to have a bunch of very different activities, and I just pick a couple, right, and work on them every day. I want to keep every day interesting. Every day is unique. And you know what it does? It helps me remember every day in a unique and interesting way. When you do the same thing every day, it fucks with your brain. You're not really learning any new information. You're acting on autopilot. So that's why I want people to do what I do. I want people to think how I think. Because in my personal opinion, I think people are better off if they listen to what I say. Jennifer says, Boomer here, and I agree 100%. Thank you, based Boomer. Fatima Khan, I don't really care about what you have to say. I'm going to be honest. Reminder, if you want to buy a Michael Brooks shirt, go to Letterhack's fucking bullshit. He's selling this shit. It's all a charity. This motherfucker's so charitable. Buy a shirt, support charity, and then rep the GOAT. Anyway, I did not intend on talking about God for an hour. I know that might be a shock to you. You know, that might be surprising to you. Oh, you're telling me Andrea did not intend to spend an hour talking about God again? Again? Oh. Right? So I apologize for that. But, it happens. What do I listen to? I listen to many, many things. There's freedom in submission. The only time I'm going to be submissive is in bed, motherfucker. Cry about it. I did not, Donald James. I have heard of Pixies, the Pixies. I don't know if it's the Pixies or... I've heard of them. I've heard a couple songs. I don't go out of my way to listen to new music often, to be honest. I have like a couple bands and I'll listen to everything that they do, but I don't... You know, it's the same thing with movies for me. I didn't really get into movies until like last year. Like I just had like a couple movies and a couple themes that I would like, and that was pretty much it. But last year and this year I started branching out in that sense. I don't listen to new music often, right? So it's like music I'm familiar with, like I know I might like this, and I'll just like listen to like every song in a certain artist's discography, but it's not that large of a list. But one day I'll get more into it. Anyway, let's talk about... I know y'all motherfuckers are going to be like, oh, here we go. Y'all motherfuckers are going to be like, oh my god. Speaking of music, though, I'm reading Dave Grohl's book right now. Pretty good so far. So, check it out. All right. Bear with me. So, I would like to start this by citing a statistic. 95% of Americans do not eat the daily recommended intake of fiber in this country. 95% of Americans, in other words, don't know how to eat vegetables. I say this all the time on my show. And I want to start this segment by talking about that. 95% of Americans literally are so fucking stupid, they don't know how to make a salad and actually eat the salad. They might be able to make the salad. That's possible. But eating the salad, they just can't do it without like fucking ranch dressing and all this fucking bacon bits like a bunch of fucking morons. Right? So we have a country of stupid morons that don't know how to eat food and don't know how to feed themselves. Okay? That's the world we live in. Eating meat is objectively garbage. It's garbage. If you eat meat, it destroys your body, and the process of mass manufacturing meat destroys the planet. Okay, I recently read an article about PFAS that found that PFAS in food is most prevalent in meat products. Why? Because most animals are tortured throughout their entire lives and fed extremely low quality food ingredients, a lot of bioengineered food ingredients that have a higher likelihood of having PFAS, forever chemicals in them, right? And then they just stockpile that PFAS in their tissue. And then, again, when you eat it, you're eating higher and higher doses of PFAS, right? So that's just one thing, and I maybe I'll cover that in its own segment. But this article, this headline, heat stress blamed for thousands of cattle deaths in Kansas. Okay, motherfucker, like, I've seen so many stupid motherfuckers on social media saying, oh, isn't this horrible? Oh, they're suffering. And yet, they eat meat. They go to McDonald's every day. Like, I mean, look,
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Some stupid ass shit. Stupid ass shit, okay? Now again, eating meat, not only does it kill you, your family, it's a drug, you're addicted to drugs, it's also unnecessary, right? We have a thing called agriculture. We can grow vegetables, okay? We can grow vegetables that could feed this entire population for a fraction of the amount of land that we use for livestock. Because keep in mind, livestock, you have to keep them alive, you have to pump them full of garbage food, and I guess in this instance, in Kansas, they can't even keep them alive. So what they did is they wasted thousands of pounds of corn that could actually feed actual human beings. Now, corn is not the most nutritious vegetable, but it's what our government subsidizes heavily, right? But it's wasted on these animals that are now rotting in the sun for no reason. Now imagine if we had that corn, which, by the way, vegetables when properly stored last way longer than meat products. Okay? Vegetables when properly stored can last a very long time compared to meat products. So let's factor that in. Longer shelf life, easier to ship, easier to grow, and you get more out of it. Right? Like if we in this country, again, and I also want to say Americans or humans do not need to eat meat. It's unnecessary. Right? You can not eat meat a single time in your life and be perfectly healthy. I want to read this article a little bit before I continue ranting and raving. Thousands of cattle in feedlots in southwestern Kansas have died of heat stress due to soaring temperatures, high humidity, and little wind in recent days. This is called a feedback loop. One of the main culprits of climate change is meat. The fact that we have an industry around mass manufacturing animals, torturing them en masse. It's a giant animal holocaust that happens every day in this country, and we have corporations that profit off of it, profit off of the killing of Americans via poison, by eating meat, right? And it also destroys the fucking planet. It just destroys the planet, right? And so the destroyed planet that is heating up exponentially every year. It's new records every summer, new records. Oh shit, it's 40 degrees today. Oh fuck, it's 50 degrees next year. Oh shit, it's 70 degrees next year. After that, right? We're going to have to be at a point where meat, eventually, in our lifetimes, I want you to be very, very aware of this. In the next 15 to 20 years, there's going to be no such thing as meat anymore. And you might be thinking, well, let me go eat some meat now while I still can. Go fuck yourself. Okay? Go fuck yourself. You need to learn how to adapt now before there's going to be a widespread societal meltdown because people can't have their big beefy burgers and chicken nuggies. Okay, motherfucker? Okay, motherfucker? Adapt now. The society and where you can go anywhere and get your dino nuggets anywhere you want, that's over very soon. Meat is not going to be a thing in grocery stores in the next 15 to 20 years. Quote me on this. Quote me on this. And if it is, it's going to be extremely expensive and for the rich only. Now, why is meat so quote-unquote cheap in this country? Okay? Why is that? It's because of government subsidies. In fair market, if there was a free market capitalist society that we lived in, right, meat would be more expensive than any vegetable. Why? Well, you grow a vegetable and then you can just eat it. Versus you grow a vegetable and then you have to ship it across the country and feed it to a cow and then wait for like 6 months to 2 years, however long, typically that they wait for slaughtering them. And then you get to eat it. But then also the nutrition that you get is like a fraction of a percent of the nutrition you would get if you just ate the raw vegetable itself. Right? So again, I'm just saying, eating meat is so inefficient. It destroys our country's climate. It destroys the world's climate. Right? It takes up so much fucking space. As well, think of all the farmland that we could use to grow vegetables, to grow actual edible food, that we're just using to mass manufacture cattle for no reason. We have bred cattle to be unable to survive in the wild, right? So that's a problem, right? And then we just breed them for slaughter. It wastes space, not to mention methane emissions from their farts. I know people love talking about cow farts. Cattle deaths have sparked unsubstantiated reports on social media and elsewhere that something besides the weather is at play. Of course, the right wing is trying to pretend like climate change isn't real. It's a liberal conspiracy. Bill Gates is making you want to eat veggie burgers. It's a liberal conspiracy. These people are fucking stupid. The only reason why meat is so cheap is because of government subsidies. Right? It's just that simple. And these government subsidies are not going to be able to keep up with changing climate conditions. In 10 years from now, when it's as hot as it was this summer, like in February everywhere across the country, In 15, 20 years from now, you're not going to be able to have meat. There's going to be no such thing as meat. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know. Adapt now while you still can. This was a true weather event. It was isolated to a specific region in the southwestern Kansas, said A.J. Tarpoff, cattle veterinarian with Kansas State University. Yes, temperatures rose, but what's more important is why it was injurious to what we had a... Why it was injurious was that we had a huge spike in humidity, and at the same time, wind speeds actually dropped substantially. So they basically sweated themselves, you know, into extinction. But again, like this story is indicative. This is like the first of going to be many, 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 many stories going forward. Okay? Meat is going to be a thing of the past. First of all, again, meat is unhealthy for you. Meat has higher concentrations of forever chemicals such as PFAS. Meat is mostly, like, it's just ethically wrong to grow living mammals just to murder them for fun and entertainment, right? And when you murder them, you don't even use all the parts, right? So not only is, like, per pound of meat going to be significantly less nutritious than per pound of vegetable, right? But you're not even using all of the cow. At least, like, indigenous populations, they would use every part of the animal when they killed them, and they would have, like, a sacred ritual of respect. Yeah, that was thrown out the fucking window. Right? And again, it destroys our country in the form of having this wasted space that we could be using for housing homeless people. Maybe. We could use it for, I don't know, wind farms. Maybe. To cool off the fucking planet. I don't know, we could use it to grow actual vegetables. Maybe we can start growing vegetables that are actually unique and interesting and not the ones you see in the grocery store every day. You know, there's like literally thousands and thousands of edible plants, right? Like, the reason why we only have like fucking 20 that you can buy in a grocery store is just because corporations, you know, it's a waste of money to go figure out how to find a new vegetable to grow, and what if people don't like it? Because 95% of Americans don't know how to eat vegetables. They're fucking stupid. 95% of Americans don't eat enough fiber. 95%. That's almost every single American that's a fucking moron. It's just that simple. Anyway, I think I've given my word vomit of factoids. But this meat thing, this obsession with meat in this country is fucking stupid. It's stupid. I consider meat eating to be uncivilized. You are uncivilized if you eat meat. Now, it's one thing if you live on a farm and your cow Betsy died of a mysterious illness and you want to make sure that she doesn't decompose in the ground and you want to eat her beef loin steaks or whatever. You know what? I don't really care about that shit. Right? But when you go to the grocery store and you buy meat, when you go to Wendy's, McDonald's, whatever, and you buy meat, you buy fast food burgers, what you're doing is killing yourself, you're killing the planet, you're killing your kids, you're killing the world, all for your fucking stupid drug addiction. We have a war on drugs in this country. And you know what? It's about time we add meat to the Schedule 1 substances list. That's my opinion. Fuck meat eaters, and fuck you. So anyway, that was a little all over the place. But, you know, whatever. It's a vomitorium today. Yeah, I mean, I whenever I have the chance to try a new fruit or like a new vegetable, I like trying, like, whenever, like, I'm at like some market or like some, like, you know, not grocery store, but like, you know, like, there's grocery stores that are just for random countries, like, you know, Asian markets, like Ethiopian markets, like African markets and stuff, you know. Like, I've been to a couple of these, and it's like, it's always interesting to try new fruits and new vegetables that I've never heard of before. I love that shit. It's so interesting. Now, I love onions, but damn, there's a lot more in the world than onions, right? Like, you know, and I say that as a big-time onion lover. Huge fan of onions. There's fucking grounds in my coffee. I'm gonna fucking murder myself. Speaking of murder, I'm gonna do a movie review. That means the last segment of the show is coming. Yo, I just want to say, y'all motherfucker in the chat room shitting on Tool. Tool is good. So fuck you. Are they great? Are they the best band ever? Nah. But Tool is good. I'm into that shit. Speaking of being into shit, if you want to give me money, it's an option. Coffee is bad for you. That is not true at all. That is what we call in this chat room fake news. Now, I will say that coffee production, not great for the planet overall, but that's mostly because of how we organize our planet. We use slave labor most of the time when it comes to coffee. But that's a problem that we can solve, in my opinion. Speaking of fruit, I find you very appealing. Oh. Anyway, my show today was all over the place. Sometimes I need a good ranting and raving sesh. Coffee gives you the shits for a reason. Yes, because it's good for you. In the same way that vegetables make you poop more, because they're good for you. Pooping is good, it's healthy, it makes your body healthier. It feeds your gut biome, it cleans your system. The more you poop, the better health you're in, typically speaking. Now again, you know, if you have like IBS or something and you know, or there's some other problem, that's a whole different story. But for the average person, poop is good. Everybody poops, and everyone should poop more. Poop fan? Where are the poop fans at? Did I see Crystal Ball on Real Time with Bill Maher? Yeah, I watch Real Time with Bill Maher every evening. I gather the family around the television and watch what Bill Maher has to say. No, of course I didn't fucking watch Real Time with Bill Maher. I don't give a shit. It's the bad kind of poop? No, it's not. Fake news? All right, let's talk about a movie. So as we all know, I have been getting into movies over the last couple of years. A lot of classic franchises that I've never watched. And one that I've been going through recently is the Die Hard series. And I watched yesterday Die Hard with a Vengeance, aka Die Hard 3. You know, real quick, first of all, I hate this bullshit when movie companies or whatever, you know, like, just call it Die Hard 3, motherfucker. Like, if you want to have, like, Die Hard with a Vengeance, like, aka Die Hard 3, that's fine. Or Die Hard 3, Die Hard with a Vengeance, I get it. But just put a 3 in there, like, just for me, right? Just for my sake, okay? Because, like, figuring out what order to watch these movies in is just, honestly, it's a little ridiculous. But anyway, it's Die Hard 3. And I'm going to be honest, I think this one might be better than the first one. I think. I'm not sure. I think the first one has a way better vibe to it. I think. But the scale of this one, I really enjoyed. I think it's absolutely better than the second one. But anyway, so Die Hard 1 and 2, right, they all take place in like a contained area, right? Like, you know, Die Hard 1 is in the tower. Die Hard 2 is at the airport. Die Hard 3 is like, we're in the entire city of New York City. Like, the whole city is the playing field. And I think that opens up the film in a really interesting direction. And I love it. I love the fact that Bruce Willis is like hungover the whole movie. I think he acts that part really well. Now, again, I've never had a hangover before in my life. I don't know. I've got alcoholic genes, I guess. Never had a hangover, so I don't know what that is. But I love that he's constantly asking people for aspirins. It's really funny. It's just a great movie. Samuel Jackson in this movie is extremely good, as almost every movie he is in. He is extremely good all the time. He's very good. In this movie, he's, in my opinion, he's probably better than Bruce Willis in this movie. Samuel Jackson, like every line, it was great. It was great. But anyway, so this movie, the plot is like, there's a brother now of the villain from the first movie, and he wants to fuck around with John McClane because, you know, revenge or whatever. And then they find out, nah, he was just doing that just for fun as a side hustle while he was stealing, like, gold from the Federal Reserve, something like that. And he's, like, planting bombs around the city. And, like, the thing I love about this movie is it reminds me of, like, a Grand Theft Auto game. Like, you're running around New York City, not you, but Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson are running around New York City, like, going to payphones, right? Like, you know, they have to get a car. There's the one scene where they drive a taxi through Central Park. That was great. That was funny. I wish he would have, like, hit a couple people, though, just to make it a little bit more interesting. But, like, they're driving, like, cars around the sidewalks, and it's just great. They're just destroying hot dog stands. It's just really fun to watch. And then, of course, I love the explosions, right? Like, just in, like, giant city you would never be able to see a movie like this after 9/11. Let me tell you, 9/11 destroyed the fucking art industry, right? They were blowing bombs up in schools. You can't see that anymore. They were blowing bombs up. Like, you could see the Twin Towers, which ripped, by the way. You know, again, it's just great. I love explosions. I love blowing up civilian infrastructure. It's just really fun. I love the subway bombing section of this movie, where like the train gets bombed and then the fucking like whole like city like floor collapses in because, you know, it's just great. All the infrastructure gets destroyed. It's a really good fucking movie. I enjoyed watching this movie. I think the pacing of this movie was really good. I love that it was kind of like, you know, like the main villain was like playing a game. It's kind of like a Saw kind of thing going on. But it was all just a big distraction for the fact that he's got the grand heist, you know. And one thing about this movie as well is that in the first two movies, right, the cops are kind of like the villains. Like, John McClane is the only good cop, and that's kind of the whole way that the first two movies go, is that all the cops are bad and garbage, and everything that they do just makes the situation worse. But in this movie, the cops are somewhat less incompetent. Like, overall, they're still a net negative. Like, that one scene where Samuel L. Jackson is trying to go onto a payphone, and then the white cop is, like, threatening to shoot him because he's a black person, but he has to answer the phone, otherwise, like, you know, the school's gonna get bombed or whatever, right? I thought that, you know, that was, again, showing how cops are just incompetent assholes. But, you know, overall, I think the cops in this movie, a little too competent, in my opinion. I would have preferred if they were a little bit worse. Because it's just more realistic. The cops being garbage and being a net negative and hurting every situation instead of helping, that's the reality. That's the real world. And I think Die Hard 1 and 2 did that a pretty good way. Die Hard 3 is a little bit too pro-cop, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Anyway, I love this movie. I thought it was super fun. It's one of those movies that's hard to kind of review. It's, you know, I can talk about the scenes, but it was just a really fun movie to watch. Like every plot point from, like, you know, all the games that they were playing to like the grand heist and the ending. It was all good. It was just very enjoyable, very fun to watch. It was very breaking the formula of Die Hard 1 and 2. Like, again, those movies take place in one concentrated area. This movie is like, yeah, you're in the whole fucking city of New York City, and I think that that's pretty fun. I love the idea of the terrorists threatening to blow up a school. That's pretty cool. But anyway, great movie. I'm into it. I'm excited to watch Die Hard 4 and 5. I don't know anything about them. But is it possible that they can continue being this good? Because so far I'm very impressed with the Die Hard films. I'm not that big on action movies in general. But Die Hard 1, exceptional. Die Hard 2, very good. Die Hard 3, also pretty, like, very good to exceptional. Right? Die Hard 4, Die Hard 5, I don't know. And again, it's unfortunate there's not going to be a Die Hard 6, obviously, because Bruce Willis is retired. But I'm into this series. I'll watch them all. They're all on Hulu right now, so I've just been going through them every once in a while. I'm in. So again, I would have preferred if they just called them like Die Hard 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 69. But like, you know, they got all these meme titles. You know, whatever. But anyway, I'm into it. Good movie. I like it. And we'll see what Die Hard 4 is all about at some point in the future, whenever I decide to watch it. Don't fucking spoil it. I don't care what you think about 4 and 5 in the chat room. I don't care. You're making me go in. You're poisoning the well. I don't give a shit about 4 and 5 until I watch it. I am vehemently anti-spoiler. Like, I don't want to know any general perception of a film before I watch it. I don't want to know anything. I want to watch a film with as little information as possible. That's my opinion on all film in general. Anyway, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, like, I don't care about what you think about 4 and 5. It affects me negatively to read that. But anyway, there you go. Motherfuckers in the chat talking about No Doubt. I like No Doubt. I like Gwen Stefani. Pretty good. Endorsed. Anyway, that's the show. Hope people enjoyed the weekend program. I was a little all over the place today, but that's fine. So now we're going to enter the Q-Cock portion of today's program. That's right, Q-Cock. You might be wondering, what the fuck? Q-Cock. Questions, comments, or concerns. So if you got anything, let me know. Q-Cock. Do a music program one of these days. I'm very concerned. Oh boy. In case anyone is curious, follow me on Twitter. You know, if you want to give me money, that would be great. I need money to live, unfortunately. So, you know, there you go. What's on the menu for Cooking with the Bitch? I am of the mind that I like as little spoilers as possible. I hate announcing things, right? Like, sometimes I'll do Cooking with the Bitch, a teaser the day before, but I love just dropping something. Like, there's no looking forward to it. I love just dropping something. So I'm not going to tell you. And I also don't know as well. Cock here. Are you watching them back to back? Cock? Or Die Hard? I mean, not all at once, no. Otherwise, I would have reviewed all 5 in one day. Yeah, no rush, Donald James. It's all good. I have a rooster emoji, and I'm concerned. Why is that? And that's a good question. Biden taking a tumble on his bike? I mean, that's funny. I don't know. When presidents get, like, goofed on or hurt themselves, I just think it's hilarious. Oh, no, I'm not watching them all in a row. Like, when I review a movie, this is like the order that I watch them in. Like, if I watch a movie, I'll just talk about it the next day. There's no, like, grandiose charting. But yeah, I'll probably get to them over the course of the next couple weeks, you know. Gotta be in the mood. Yeah, once again, I am working on many a project. Many a project I am working on. And again, I'm not going to tell anyone what any of them are until the day that they're ready to drop. So, there you go. I'd like to also announce that it is, in fact... This is like, you see, like, this is like the 3D thing going on here. I got like the glasses like sticking outward, so it looks like they're 3D. You see that? Like, it's like one of those things where like you cross your eyes and it looks like the glasses are popping out the screen. Hey! You know, you see that? It's like depth perception. I endorse binge watching, but I also like to, you know, I like to not do everything at once. I like to extend my interest, you know, over the course of a longer period of time, because that way I feel like I enjoy it more. Because if I binge something, I'll think about it a lot for like a week, and then it's just kind of over. I like to, like, if something I like, you know, I like to extend it out, you know. You know, it's just part of my daily routine. I'll read a chapter of this. I'll watch an episode of that for a couple months. Yo, I got to go to the urination station. Question, what am I going to eat today? Don't know. I don't know. I just kind of wing it whenever I go in the kitchen, pretty much. I gotta go to the urination station. This is a big problem. It's affecting many Americans. And so, thank you all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye!
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
They're coming all over the place.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the go. You know the thing.
I mean, the fossil fuel industry, they weigh in so significantly. I mean, how could it be?